A new patch has been announced for October 17th. This kind of just came out of nowhere, as usual. So let's take a look at the patch notes, and I'll omit some of the numerical values for brevity's sake, because otherwise this can be quite a mouthful. So let's take a look at the October 17th patch. First off, in the store, there's going to be a new ace recruitment available for the striker Welkin Custom, as well as Ryui, a 19-year-old from the Yuliang region who grew up traveling with her mechanic father, gaining an extraordinary understanding of machinery. Often seen working with the maintenance crew, Ryui stands out as a brake striker pilot for her independence and resilience. Now, as she embarks on a new journey, she's ready to make her mark. There is a video available below that also showcases this, and I'll post that in the description. And then moving on to the seasonal sets, the Marcens Zone Wraith set will now be available for a limited time. On to some striker changes. There are a couple different categories for this. First listed is the general category, in which they state the minimum activation time for cooldown refunds is now standardized to 1 second. So activation and deactivation intervals for the following weapons are also standardized to 1 second. Those being Aquila's multi-lock radar, Stego's jamming haze diffuser, Inferno's booster kit, and Serenith's Corite jammer. You can now also independently set hotkeys for Narukami's optical camo drone, Lumine's drone launcher, Pinaka's emergency support drone, and Hurricane's defense field drone. Executing enemies also has been updated, so now executing a target creates a 6-second, 20-meter radius Corite haze, applying the following effects to both friendly and enemy strikers: energy and fluid armor regen boost, and lock-on immunity. And there is an improved energy consumption display for Aquila's airborne kit and Alphard's rapid assault mode. And they also fixed a bug where the hotkey settings did not transfer to the newly unlocked strikers. So for Tricera, the Gatling gun magazine capacity has been increased. The heavy Gatling gun has also had its capacity increased, and the howitzer has had its capacity reduced from 3 rounds to 2 rounds. However, to make up for that, the reload time has been adjusted from 16 seconds for 3 rounds to 8 seconds for 2 rounds. So all in all, this looks to be a damage uptime buff for Tricera. Not being able to fire 3 rounds at once does hurt a little bit, but it seems to be shifting from that immediate burst potential for more damage over time potential. Pinaka has had the rapid repair grappler lock-on range increased, and the lock-on range for pull initiation also increased. The repair drone has an added directional indicator to the fire control system interface. Auto destruction range has been increased when out of range, and cover airdrop kit can no longer be penetrated by energy damage with a direct damage effect. Serenith has had its air energy regen reduced, energy consumption for aerial jumps has been increased, and energy consumption for aerial boosts have also been increased. So Serenith has seen some reduction to its energy economy this time around. Stellaris has had its energy capacity increased, ground energy regen increased, and energy regen during the depleted state reduced. So this appears to be a positive for players who are using Stellaris correctly and managing their energy correctly, and a negative to players who may mismanage their energy and be caught vulnerable for a longer period of time. Alphard has had an issue fixed where switching to the heavy sniper cannon in sniper mode whilst using rapid assault mode and properly inherited the striker's lock-on effect. As for mods, They fixed an issue where Falcon and Skyraider failed to apply aerial mobility related stats when transforming from the ground into winged form and aerial assault form. Now for the tactical station, as they call it, under General, ranked mode matchmaking has been adjusted. Squads with a tier gap greater than 3 between the highest and lowest ranked members are ineligible. So for example, if a squad includes a bronze pilot, other members must be platinum or lower. So this will prevent people from far too high of a rank inviting others who are far too low of a rank into the matchmaking system. There was a time where I was in champion rank, I believe, and I invited 2 of my buddies to play in ranked mode, and they were both bronze. And I immediately saw that as problematic, so I'm glad that they fixed that as well. For Operation Verge, the 6 vs 6 mode, ranked mode matchmaking is now limited to teams of 1, 2, 3, or 6 members to ensure fair competition. So this is an attempt to reduce being stomped by full squads, which is also a good thing. Matchmaking for ranked mode needs all the help that it can get currently. So that's definitely good news that they are making efforts to balance out the ranked mode as well as the matchmaking. Custom room. The room host can now toggle observer mode on or off in room settings, with the following changes applied when enabled. 8 spectator slots will open, allowing non-participating pilots to watch the match via free camera view or pilot perspective. The room will only allow real pilots, bots cannot be added, and any configured bots will automatically be removed. In addition to the existing room settings, the host can edit team names and initial scores, which auto-update after each match. I have seen a few tournaments from the Asian player base where they used this advanced spectator mode. They must have been official, I imagine, to have access to those settings. And it was a lot nicer to be able to spectate when you have these items accessible. So it was kind of strange to me that when I looked into it and I saw it wasn't readily available to the public, but it seems like it will now be available to us. Hosts can enable striker ban rules, customizing ban order and number of bans, ban lists, time limits for banning and selecting strikers. And they made a change to a map where the airdrop system above Longmin launch site has been fixed to prevent strikers from redeploying far from the combat zone. Alright, now for Operation Storm, Mashmak. Under General, the Colossal Striker, Morena, is now available for challenge. Use Locator Beacon 3 to find its restricted zone entrance and form squads to face it in Mashmak Co-op, Extreme, or Covert Operations. The minimum team size for Covert Operations mode has been removed, so now squads of 1 or 2 pilots can now enter Mashmak Covert Operation mode with the same environment, foe difficulty, and restricted zone access as 3-player teams. This is definitely a nice addition and a welcome one, but it seems like it might be quite difficult to handle solo, however, so you might need to bring a more high-powered striker to be able to handle the amount of mob clear and the resilience of them. The default shortcut key for the secure cargo bay has been changed to L. Pilots can now drag and drop items directly between cargo storage and secure cargo bay for depositing, swapping, or retrieving items. Again, this is also really nice. I felt like it was clunky to have to press certain keys and I'd have to sit there and look at the screen to remember what the keys are to deposit an item in a cargo bay and not discard it. Cargo rocket activation rules in all stronghold areas have been updated. Countdown timers for activated facilities are now visible on the minimap for easier route planning. The number of rocket facilities per mode has been reduced. The Armored Supply Crate reward from restricted zones will no longer include cargo rocket beacons. The results screen now shows equipped mod losses when missions fail. Under Stronghold Forces, Thea's Vanguard has redeployed its Exile-class frigates, with some docked for defense and others assigned as Stronghold reinforcements. Hellcat can no longer perform stationary pivot turn attacks due to lacking the required thrusters. With upgraded targeting systems, Hellcat's scatter attacks during high-speed movement are harder to evade. For system, under Mission Briefing, mission interface layout upgraded for clarity, with background lore descriptions added to all missions for enhanced immersion. Great change. Glad they're actually adding some lore into the game now for us to enjoy, so that'll be great. For inventory expansion is now available. Use Matrix credits to purchase up to 5 expansions, each adding 5 slots, for a total of 25 extra slots. I don't think this is going to be that big of a game changer, considering some of the inventory issues that I've had. I would need like an additional 200 slots in order for it to be a considerable expansion. So like I've had several hundred paint canisters in mod boxes that were just a pain to open up. I'd have to just open a few at a time and then filter out and sell the ones that I didn't want, and then continue to open up more and more as my inventory just slowly fills up during that time period, and I have to stop my process due to my inventory being filled. But maybe it's a start. Maybe there'll be more slots in the future. For base exploration, base facilities now include new interactive operations and enhanced pilot interaction visuals. Break room minigames have been further optimized. For the system settings, they've added 165 FPS and 240 FPS options to the frame limit settings for both in-match and out-of-match. Chat panel display rules have been optimized to prevent blocking key interface interaction. Scroll bars in all system interfaces are now always visible and highlighted during interaction. And they have also improved the cursor size for screens using lower resolution settings. So I think the main takeaway from this patch is going to be with regards to the changes made to matchmaking for Operation Verge's ranked mode. Not being able to be stomped by full 5 or 6 man squads is going to be great quality of life for the people that play solo, like myself. I play ranked exclusively solo, so that will improve the experience, hopefully to a much better degree. The patch takes things in a good direction, but obviously there's still more work that needs to be done. I know I would like to see the amount of queues available significantly reduced. I don't think the game needs however many. There's like 10 queues right now. Got Operation Verge, 6v6 ranked and casual, 3v3 ranked and casual, then you have all the matchmake queues. I think they really need to take some of those to the chopping block and reduce the available queues to help with the matchmaking times. So hopefully that will come in the not too distant future. So that's all for these patch notes. You can feel free to tell me what you think about them, and thank you for watching.